not my woman, no.
And I would never, ever, ever use a lie. Ain't now one of them niggas stepped up and said they hit this. Use a goddamn lie. What are you saying, Jonathan?
I'm saying I need you to be a mother, not a networker, not a baddie, not a squawker, not a motherfucker.
I'm not about to let nobody in no club jump on my back over no...
Blueface's own mom just got put on blast by her son, and the internet is still trying to process it. This situation exploded after Blueface publicly shut down what he felt was way too personal behavior, and people online instantly started calling it uncomfortable and out of line. Before we get deep into this wild mess, hit that like button and tap subscribe, because this family drama is shaking timelines everywhere. And trust me, this story makes people question where family boundaries should really be. So peep this. Blueface has stayed in headlines for years, but this moment caught everybody off guard. Out of nowhere, he jumped on social media and made it clear to his own mother that she was crossing lines, straight up saying she was not his type, and that anything beyond a mother-son relationship was never happening. Yeah, read that again. A grown man felt pushed enough to publicly tell his own mom to fall back because she was way too involved in his personal relationships. That alone had fans side-eyeing the whole situation hard. But this wasn't some random emotional post. It's been tension building for years, and fans been noticing the strange vibes long before this moment.
What are you saying, Jonathan?
I'm saying I need you to be a mother, not a networker, not a baddie, not a squawker, not a motherfucker.
I'm not about to let nobody in no club jump on my back over no gate.
I'm about to show you the video.
You have no reason to lie. Don't call me no liar, Jonathan. Jonathan, let her talk, because this gonna be my last time playing with you and your people. Because I don't like how you, me and her apologize.
I don't care, you're a liar.
You're a liar.
Let's rewind for a second, because this goes deeper than one tweet. Carissa Saffold, Blueface's mother, has always been outspoken and heavily involved in his life. From interviews to online posts, she's never been low-key. She met Blueface's father years ago while working retail management at a mall, and from there, this family dynamic was never exactly quiet or private. From the jump, their relationship was never smooth like people expect. Carissa's life always felt unstable, and she said it herself. She wanted the spotlight bad. Hollywood dreams, acting attempts, chasing fame wherever it popped up. She's been open about having 3 kids by different men. And all that bouncing around, moving homes, and switching relationships created a shaky, unpredictable household. When she had Jonathan, who the world now knows as Blueface, things shifted. Instead of slowing down, she reportedly started seeing her son as a second chance at the life she never got. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Carissa once admitted she always needs to be with somebody and struggles being on her own. That deep need for attention and validation didn't just disappear. It followed her into motherhood in ways that later raised serious questions. Blueface grew up watching his mom chase relationships, lean heavily on men, and struggle to keep things steady. At a young age, he ended up carrying grown man weight. When his older brother Andre went to prison for manslaughter, Jonathan became the emotional backbone of the house. That flipped the roles, making him feel responsible for supporting his mother, mentally and financially. Then boom, Blueface hits the rap scene and blows up with Thosiana. Money, fame, clout, and nonstop attention changed everything overnight. That's when people really started side-eyeing Carissa's behavior. Instead of cheering from the sidelines, she clashed with nearly every woman in his life.
Y'all need to start holding people accountable. This is not funny no more. This is not a game no more. And that was the ugliest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Fans noticed the pattern fast. Anyone close to him became the problem, and the tension only kept getting louder. Fans peeped early that something wasn't adding up. People kept asking the same question online. Why is a grown man's mother so deep in his dating life like this? Every woman he dealt with came with commentary, criticism, and tension. And every time Blueface was around another woman, that jealous energy felt loud and impossible to ignore. What really had folks talking was how Carissa planted herself inside every corner of his life. She didn't just watch from the sidelines. She moved in with him, worked at his restaurant, and stayed wrapped up in his business moves. This wasn't just support, this was control. Fans started saying it felt like she refused to let him breathe, grow, or have any real privacy as a man. Now let's talk about Jayden and Alexis, because this is where things got extra messy. Jayden, one of Blueface's children's mothers, clashed with Carissa from the very beginning. You'd think keeping peace for the kids would be priority number 1, right? Nope. Instead, Carissa stayed stirring things up nonstop. She constantly threw slick comments at Jaden, questioned her role, and took shots whenever she could, and fans noticed. It didn't feel like normal family tension. There was a strange competitiveness in the air.
Always hate Jaden, or did you at some point like Jaden?
I've always liked her. I've just always seen different things that she would do. I would say as a narcissist and try to control like what he disperses to us.
You think Jaden's a narcissist
Yes.
over your son?
Yes. Oh, hell yes.
Carlissa, you must have smoked
Oh,
a fat
hell
one over
yeah.
here.
She's a good one too. What?
Jaden?
Yeah, Jaden is controlling this whole y'all think it's John. She told him, go on over there and get that money. Bring it back. You better stop playing. You ain't picking up what I've been putting down this whole year, huh?
Okay, wait, no, we're gonna get into it because you've been putting a lot.
Carissa even made comments painting Jaden as just a housekeeper while picking apart her looks and behavior. That crossed lines for a lot of people. It wasn't protective mom energy. It felt personal, petty, and way too invested. And the internet definitely wasn't blind to it. Things got even uglier when Carissa admitted she once taught Jaden how to cook and clean while she was younger, only to later throw that in her face. That already felt shady, but what really exposed her mindset was when she made colorist comments about who she thought Blueface should be dating. She openly said she wanted him with a darker-skinned woman and claimed Jaden wasn't dark enough, pushing the idea that people should only date within a certain look. That shocked a lot of people.
What you want to do, Mr. Kobe Jonathan Porter, Bryant? What you want to do is go ahead and repent today and start over. That ain't it, okay? I'm gonna tell you the truth this one last time. I'm gonna give you one more last secret, okay? Because you done about used up all your biblical passes, baby. You done used them all up today. You want me to respect your wife? Not a wife. That's a maid. You need to know the difference, okay? A wife is a fucking helpmate. It ain't a drunk, complaining, crying, weird, pumpkin head crybaby, okay? That's not a wife. You don't have a helpmate, you got a maid. You getting them mixed up. Respect.
At that point, it was clear this had nothing to do with protecting her son. This was about personal bias and control creeping into his relationships. The situation fully crossed the line when Carissa got physical with Jaden at the restaurant. She flipped a food tray during an argument, and hot sauce ended up hitting Jaden in the eye, all because she felt disrespected over being called a liar. That's not normal parent behavior. That's someone reacting out of jealousy and insecurity, seeing other women as competition instead of family. Fans said it looked like she was fighting to keep her spot as the most important woman in her son's life. Then came Chrisean Rock, and everything went sideways fast. Blueface and Chrisean's relationship was loud, toxic, and played out in front of everyone. Carissa stayed right in the middle of it, switching sides whenever it suited her. One minute she was backing Chrisean, the next minute she was tearing her down. It felt like a power play. Fans said she was juggling both sides just to stay involved, stay relevant, and keep control over the narrative surrounding her son's love life. At first, Carissa was completely against Chrisean from day one. She even admitted that when she saw Chrisean's audition tape for Blue Girls Club, she told Blueface straight up, "Don't pick her. Whatever you do, don't pick her." What made it stranger was she couldn't even explain why. No real reason, no solid warning. Just a gut feeling that she didn't want that woman anywhere near her son. Things really popped off once Chrisean moved into the house with Carissa and Blueface. What should have been a short-term setup quickly turned into a full-blown power struggle. Two women under one roof, both pulling for influence, both clashing non-stop. Carissa complained about Chrisean going into her room, using her makeup, and not following house rules. But instead of handling it calmly, she chose chaos. She started setting traps, creating tension, and turning small issues into big blow-ups. That infamous fight between Carissa and Chrisean wasn't really about a dog or house rules like people thought. It was about territory. Carissa felt her control slipping and reacted out of fear and jealousy. Things went too far when objects were thrown during the confrontation, especially with Chrisean being pregnant at the time. Fans were stunned, and that wasn't the only red flag. When Carissa and Jaden were co-managing Blueface's restaurant, it should have been straight business. Instead, Carissa used it as another control move. She undermined Jaden's authority, caused scenes with customers, and treated the restaurant like her personal stage. Every situation turned into a power play, and people watching couldn't ignore the pattern anymore. When Jaden called Carissa a liar during a work situation, her reaction went completely left. Instead of handling it like an adult, Carissa flipped a food tray, and hot sauce ended up hitting Jaden in the eye. She later tried to justify it by saying she had cooked a gourmet meal and deserved respect. That moment showed a clear pattern. Carissa did not handle being challenged by any woman connected to her son, even in a professional space. Social media wasted no time calling it out. Fans were loud, and the comments were brutal. People kept asking why this behavior didn't feel motherly at all. Why is she so pressed about her son's girlfriends? Kept popping up everywhere. A lot of viewers said it felt like jealousy, not protection, and that comparison alone raised major red flags. More clips surfaced, and fans noticed how Carissa visibly reacted whenever Blueface showed affection to another woman. She seemed irritated, uncomfortable, and quick to step in. People said it looked like she constantly tried to sabotage his relationships while positioning herself as the most important woman in his life. The energy felt possessive, not parental, and that distinction mattered to viewers. What really pushed people over the edge was when Carissa began making inappropriate remarks involving her son. She compared adult men in her life to him and made jokes that crossed basic boundaries. On top of that, she accidentally posted private images online, later claiming they were meant for her husband. The internet immediately checked her for it. Fans weren't reaching anymore. They called the behavior disturbing, unnecessary, and completely out of line.
I want to get on here and address a couple people that's saying that I feel entitled, and when I said make it enough, that was y'all was saying that was me being entitled, and I think I should have this and have that. I want to address that to you slow motherfuckers in the back, because the real mothers already know what I'm talking about, but the slow motherfuckers that ain't got no grandmas for their kids, that, you know what I'm saying?
At that point, people agreed. Something about this family dynamic felt seriously off, and the internet wasn't letting it slide. Eventually, Blueface hit his breaking point. He went straight to Twitter and said what a lot of people had already been thinking, but never expected to hear out loud. He told his mother directly that certain lines should never even be hinted at, saying she needed to stop being overly focused on his relationships. He made it clear there would never be anything inappropriate between them, and called the attention toward his dating life weird and uncomfortable. The fact that a grown man felt forced to say this publicly about his own mother says everything. This wasn't clout chasing or disrespect. This was him drawing hard boundaries that should have already existed without a conversation. People online were shocked because no one should ever have to clarify something like that to a parent. In interviews afterward, Blueface didn't hold back. He openly said his mother needed to grow up and stop acting like she was competing with the women he dates. He accused her of being manipulative and trying to control every corner of his personal life, from relationships to money to daily decisions. That frustration had clearly been building for a long time.
The thing that you got going wrong with you is because of you.
Hey.
Not because of me, not because of her, because of you. It all comes 360. I don't know why you think you just exempt and you just special and you're very special. Don't get it. Let's tell you my mom and everything, but I'm saying,
just saying you ain't got no remorse and you don't care.
Nah, that's it. Like,
I'm leaving here with that.
I'm saying, I feel like I'm more mature than you.
If you were more mature than me, we wouldn't be here.
Now let's keep it real for a second. Behavior like this doesn't come out of nowhere. Carissa's fixation on her son's love life, paired with the jealousy she's shown toward his partners, made a lot of people uncomfortable. Fans started saying this looked less like concern and more like obsession. At this point, viewers weren't laughing or gossiping anymore. They were genuinely concerned. The situation raised serious questions about boundaries, emotional dependence, and unresolved personal issues that clearly needed attention. First, people online started bringing up the idea of emotional boundary crossing, not physical, but emotional. This is when a parent leans on their child in ways that look more like a partner than a parent. It can show up as possessiveness, jealousy over other relationships, and trying to control who the child dates or spends time with. Fans weren't diagnosing, just pointing out patterns that felt off. Carissa has openly talked about her own past struggles. She's shared stories about abandonment issues, childhood trauma involving her stepfather, and growing up around addiction. She's also admitted she hates being alone and craves male attention and validation. A lot of viewers felt those unresolved issues may have spilled into how she leaned on her son emotionally. There's also the fame angle. Carissa wanted success and recognition for herself, but never reached the level she dreamed of. When Blueface blew up, fans believed she started living through him. That went past normal parental pride. She inserted herself into his career moves, relationships, and personal choices in ways that made people uncomfortable. Then there's the attention factor. Every time Blueface's name trends, Carissa somehow ends up part of the conversation. Whether it's interviews, social media posts, or reality-style content, she stays in the spotlight. Fans notice she seems energized by the chaos and online reaction. At this point, people weren't just gossiping. They were calling out patterns, questioning boundaries, and saying the dynamic didn't feel healthy. The internet wasn't reaching. It was reacting to what was right in front of them. One part people don't talk about enough is the money angle, and it's a big one. Carissa has openly admitted she relies on Blueface financially, and fans believe that dependency became another way to keep control over him. Whenever he tried to step back or create distance from her behavior, guilt came into play. Money, housing, support, all of it thrown back in his face. She's also used his success to bankroll her own moves. From launching her own show to pushing different business ideas, Blueface's fame and money stayed tied to her lifestyle. That created a messy, codependent setup. She needed him to maintain her image and income, while he felt pressured to keep providing even when the relationship felt unhealthy. That kind of dynamic doesn't just affect him, it spills into everything around him. It made it harder for Blueface to build stable romantic relationships because there was always interference. No woman wants to feel like she's competing with a parent for attention and loyalty. That situation is a dead end every time.
You ain't never gonna see my son. Want him to love y'all more than he loved his mama on the first motherfucking month? What kind of man do you want?
And then there's the impact on the family as a whole. The kids are growing up watching constant drama between adults who should be setting examples. Seeing arguments, public conflicts, and family issues turned into online content sends the wrong message. It normalizes chaos instead of stability. The internet might sound harsh, but a lot of the criticism has been real and direct. People aren't just trolling, they're pointing out how damaging this setup looks from the outside. When family roles get blurred and money gets mixed with control, things spiral fast. And that's exactly what fans say they've been watching play out in real time. People online have been calling this situation exactly what it looks like to them: inappropriate, toxic, and unsettling. Social media comments flooded in fast with users saying things like, "This behavior isn't normal," and pointing out how the jealousy and control felt way out of bounds. What really stood out is how this drama opened up a much bigger conversation about unhealthy family dynamics. Across the Black community especially, people started sharing their own stories. Many talked about growing up with overbearing parents who didn't respect boundaries or treated their children like emotional extensions of themselves. This situation hit close to home for a lot of viewers and sparked serious talks about mental health, healing, and breaking generational patterns. So what actually needs to happen for real healing to even be possible? First off, clear boundaries, no debate. Carissa needs to step back and allow her son to live his life without interference. That means focusing on being a grandmother to the kids and a supportive parent, not inserting herself into his relationships or decisions. On the other side, Blueface has to keep standing his ground. Setting boundaries isn't disrespect, it's survival. Sometimes distance is the only way to reset unhealthy dynamics, even when it's family. A lot of people believe professional help could make a real difference. Individual support for Carissa to work through her past struggles, and structured family conversations to rebuild trust the right way. At the end of the day, this situation became a public lesson on why boundaries matter and what happens when they're ignored for too long. This whole situation is sad, no matter how you slice it. A son should never have to say out loud that his own mother crossed lines like that. A mother shouldn't be jealous of the women in her son's life. And a family should never have to put this kind of dysfunction on public display. But here we are, and the truth is finally out in the open. Blueface is clearly done tolerating behavior. He feels is toxic, controlling, and out of bounds. Fans have been calling this out for years. What used to feel like whispers and side eyes is now front and center for everyone to see. The behind-the-scenes tension, the blurred boundaries, the constant drama. It all makes sense now.
Bitch, from a Crip to a Blood, have them barking at the door. Can you have them turn to Jesus Christ?
It's that simple. You're not my woman, Ma.
And I would never, ever use a line. Ain't now one of them niggas stepped up and said they hit this. Use a goddamn.
The question is, what happens next? Will Carissa actually step back, get real support, and become the mother and grandmother this family needs? Or will the same cycle keep repeating and damage more relationships along the way? That's the part nobody knows yet. Now listen, if you want the real stories, the stuff nobody else breaks down like this, you already know what to do. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn those notifications on so you never miss a drop. The streets never sleep, and we're just getting started. There's way more heat coming. We drop stories every single day, and tomorrow's upload is about to go even crazier, even deeper, and you do not want to miss it. Share this video with all your homeboys. Let us know how you feel in the comments and speak your mind. We'll catch you in the next one, right here at Rap Uncovered, where the truth of the streets lives.